StreamYard. Steve, it's been a week.
It has.
But you know what? A lot of fun stuff happened this week. Talking about the world of our bodybuilding thing. I just did.
Oh yeah.
Just did a physique check-in with my coach. He put a game plan together for me, much like I have put a game plan together for you, because I know you haven't been stalking your competition, but I have. So I have a game plan.
I've just looked at the lineup that I'm up against. I haven't stalked any of them, and then but I do know a couple of the ones that you're up against because we're on Instagram together. So I have a
Yeah.
general idea of some of what you're up against, and I think that you're primed to take it home, man.
Here's the way I see it, man. I just want to go up there and look as good as possible. I know it's a cliche thing. I know everybody wants to win. I want to win. You want to win. We're two competitive guys, but end of the day, hey, Seductive Steel, how are you doing? But end of the day, yeah, Seductive Steel.
Yeah.
End of the day, man, I just want to enter into the madness. Yeah.
Ooh yeah.
Oh yeah. All right, I'm gonna post something on my. Nah, I'm not gonna post on my Twitter. I think my Instagram is enough, and because this is fun. But yeah, I stalked a few of your guys. What I think, I'm gonna have you do a similar plan to get you nice and dry for next Saturday. The same thing I'm doing.
Excellent.
So we're both just gonna do the same stuff between now and Friday. That way, when I get there, we can eat at the same food at the same time and all that fun stuff.
Yeah, the calm before the storm, as it were.
The calm before the storm, brother.
Brother.
Yeah, man. Because there is a kitchen in the condo that we're staying at, correct?
Full baby.
Cool.
The
So
palatial
yeah,
estate. The slammer estate.
Slammer Estate, brother. Yeah. So I'm gonna be buying. I'm gonna be buying us a bunch of food to prepare, and it's our food. So if anybody else who's staying there touches our food, I'm not saying that I'm gonna backhand them.
Ooh.
I'm just saying that maybe they're gonna end up with a couple of like pink prints on the side of their face.
That's gonna happen right there. You see that?
Yeah, right there. Mortal Kombat style. Mortal Kombat style. Oh, man. Brother, here's what, I don't know why this just popped in my head, but is anybody really outraged at what Joe Rogan said 10 years ago? Or have we entered into this nexus, if you will, where you got a bunch of these Spotify people that no one's ever heard of, or these artists and comedians on Spotify that no one's heard of. They're probably not even making that much money on the platform. And they're probably like, well, hey, if this is the guy everybody's talking about right now, why don't I just give myself a little rub and just put my name in the list? And, because it seems like everybody who's threatened to leave Spotify because of Joe Rogan has probably gotten more media attention than they've gotten in the past like 10 years. What's your thought on this?
It's when it comes to what he said. So we'll take it in two parts, right? So the misinformation stuff. Here's what I'm going to tell you about all that. I don't take medical advice from Joe Rogan.
No.
I also don't listen to the Joe Rogan Experience for medical advice.
Exactly.
So I find it a little insulting that there is a belief that, because Joe Rogan decided not to get vaccinated, or because he listened to his doctor and took ivermectin when he had COVID, that all of a sudden I'm going to, start taking ivermectin. Now, if my doctor prescribes it to me, well, I don't have a medical degree, man. So
exactly.
Now the older stuff with him and the N-word, and obviously that's not cool. But at the same time, what's the context, right? So
Exactly.
it's easy to take, especially nowadays, it's easy to take a clip out of context. I don't know the context. I find it hard to believe he was just willy-nilly throwing about the N-word, I'm more than willing to listen. But at the same time, I'm also a believer that people grow over time. So, what he said 10 years ago, unless it was like just straight, just dripping racism, I can't get all up in arms about it. I really can't.
Well, and here's the thing with Spotify. They gave this dude $100 million. They knew they weren't hiring an altar boy, you know. And I've been listening to Joe Rogan's podcast for 12
Yeah.
years. And to your point, if he was saying things that were egregiously racist in that time, in the 12 years that I've been like listening to the podcast, I would have stopped listening. Most of the time, he just asks really thoughtful questions to people on all ends of the spectrums. He shuts up and he listens, and you wind up with 4 hours of actually getting to hear what a person thinks. You get to know that person for 4 hours, and dare I say, CNN is going after Joe Rogan, but Joe Rogan kind of represents like a new version of Larry King. Back when Larry King would actually have long form discussions with people, back when CNN had like a little bit of credibility to their name because he was part of it.
I think just as a general rule, I'm tired of 7 pissed off people on Twitter driving the conversation about what goes on in this world.
So to that point, like what people were telling me, there's this chart that somebody showed me, and it's been around for a while, but basically you got 80%, and it's probably most people who listen to our podcast. It's us. It's just people who just want to live their lives and be left the hell alone, whether they're politically left, politically moderate, politically right, whatever. And then on both ends of the spectrum, you have like your extremists and your grifters who just constantly just won't let people be. And they constantly shake shit up to the point where the rest of us are dragged along for the ride. Because, you know, the people like us, we're just like, dude, we got jobs. We have...
Yeah, exactly.
like bills, we got responsibilities. And then it's like those people have now created an environment. And I would say both sides, because, you know, if you say some things that are wildly left in a place like Texas, or if you say something that's wildly right in a place like California, both sides, you're going to end up with a similar situation, which is going to be a mob of people asking or demanding, I should say, that you be canceled from society. But
well, I just think it's ridiculous that there's, you know, the whole cancellation thing, or going after people's jobs because of political positions.
Yeah.
Which, you know, political positions should be about policy. And now, especially over the last 10 years, but really over the last 4 to 5 years, you know, your political position has now become a referendum on your morality, which is ridiculous, especially in a country like the United States where you have 2 choices.
Yeah.
Which means that depending on who you're talking to, your political beliefs makes you either right or wrong, good or bad, good or evil. You know, and in some cases, there's people that for how you vote, you know, what your position is on tax policy now becomes, you know, you're an evil person who believes in, you know, God knows what.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous.
They tie your political position to the most extremist view by one of the people who's on the opposite ends of said spectrum. So
I went through a period where I would get into arguments with people about politics, and then I realized it's a complete waste of time. At the end of the day, we're all going to go into a voting booth. We're going to vote how we want, and then we're going to leave. If somebody wants to have an honest conversation about politics, I'm more than willing to do that. But typically, people don't want to have an honest conversation about politics. They want to hear their ideas come out of your mouth. Or if they claim to be open to listening, they're not. They just want to hear where you're at, and then basically try to convert you or ostracize you because of it. It's a waste of time.
Oh, it completely is. That's why I completely stay out of it. This conversation about Joe Rogan, the only reason I'm discussing this is because he was a guy when I was a blue belt at 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu. He's a guy who helped me out a lot. He's a guy who I know is a good person.
He strikes me as a good guy.
he is a good guy, and he's kind of he's not everybody's cup of tea, but he's not a freaking racist monster. And what's interesting is first they tried to get him on misinfo, they couldn't do that. Then they're gonna hit him with racism, misogyny's the next week. But what I keep seeing is they're gonna keep hammering this and hammering this. Meanwhile, his responses have been completely reasonable, like completely reasonable, very direct, owns up to everything he said, everything he's done, like just says, hey, I've grown, all that. And what they're seeing is they're seeing a fringe group of lunatics go after him, but then they're seeing it. Then anybody who's paying attention to the story is like, well, this guy's actually pretty reasonable here. So I think it's going to backfire, similar to remember Howard Stern back in the day, how
sure.
he was the shock jock. All the conservatives tried to take him out. They made him way stronger, and he wound up with like a $500 million Sirius deal, right? I think it's going to be similar to Joe Rogan, because even if they get him off Spotify, like, he hasn't breached his contract, so they're going to have to pay him his money to get him off of the platform. He ain't going away, dude. So I think at that point, he just starts up JoeRoganExperience.com, creates an app, and then all those people pay him money directly, and he'll have a bigger audience altogether. Or you got Rumble waiting in the wing, who would gladly take his 10 million subscribers.
Yeah, he's got 11 million subscribers, so a few more than us. But the point being is that if Spotify were to dump him, they got to pay him out his contract, and then he's just going to go make another 100 million going to wherever,
going on his own. And then if you have your own platform, you can basically do what you want. The thing is, to build your platform now, if you want to like seriously circumvent any type of censorship, yeah, it takes a little bit longer to build, because you can't use Amazon Web Services. You got to build old school with bare metal servers. You got to write your own code, and you have to do you have to handle your own storage, your own content delivery, all that stuff. But end of the day, it's well worth it, because all that money you're pocketing.
Oh yeah.
So it's just an interesting time. But with the whole Whoopi Goldberg situation, what I've told people about cancel culture is this: it's a virus. Don't try to stop it. Do not try to stop it. Just let it run its course, because eventually the same people who are pushing it and pushing it and pushing it, it's going to catch up to them. And then once it catches up to them, then it's going to turn into, whoa, hold on, wait a minute. Maybe we shouldn't do this, right? So that's just what I think it is. I think Joe Rogan is still going to be on Spotify for many more years.
Well, you never know. Did you hear that they just took down over 100 old episodes of his?
Yeah, but here's the thing.
They're going to have a problem with that. But then again, I don't know. Maybe they're going to pay him enough money. He's just going to be like, whatever.
I mean, if it's older episodes that probably people aren't looking up, they're not even wanting to look up anymore. How long is his contract for?
God, that's a good. Let me look it up.
Yeah, I would imagine if you're paying $100 million, it's probably a 10-year deal. So it would probably be like when I was waiting for my equity to vest in one of the startups that I worked for. I mean, I wanted to leave every single day, but I was like, well, you're paying me enough money. I'll
no
chill,
kidding, right?
I'll chill out until you fire me. And then if they would have fired me, I would have gotten it anyways, all of it. So I'm just like, all right, I'm just gonna chill until it's time to go.
It looks like. So he signed it in September of 2020. And
oh yeah, he's been on Spotify for a while now. Because I know anything he
couple
posts,
months, yeah.
And anything he posts on YouTube now is just for marketing, right?
Yes. But it doesn't say how long it runs. Hang on. Oh, here we go. Maybe this will be it. Let's see here.
Because sometimes they don't disclose the full details of a contract, right?
Well, you would think that if they're going to tell you the dollar amount, you think they would tell you the length.
Yeah.
Hang on.
Unless they just bought the rights to it outright. Like, hey, the Joe Rogan experience is ours now. But what are the terms of him working there? Like, does he get creative control? Is there like an anti-censorship clause in the contract to where he can do whatever the hell he wants? And if they violated said contract, then he has a case to just get his money and walk away.
Yeah, all it says is that it's a multi-year contract, so whatever that means.
And you know what I find ironical about the whole situation, because Neil Young, and I don't even think it was Neil Young, I think it was somebody at the record label who started this.
Mm.
Um, how badass would it have been to hear Neil Young on the Joe Rogan Experience? Just Neil Young getting to tell like road stories and I think those two would have a fantastic conversation together, and they would have had millions of views.
Well, but probably. But here's my thing: if I don't care about getting medical advice from Joe Rogan, why do I care about getting Neil Young protecting the medical advice? Like here's a good rule for thumb for everybody: mind your own freaking business.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Now, well, and I've been
I'm
thinking
I,
about this lately, bro. Have we all ever minded? Like, I know you guys, like you and I, have, because we don't care. But society has always kind of had its chatty Cathys and things of that nature. People who like inject themselves in the drama. I think the problem is now the bullhorn went from your neighborhood, right? Your neighbors, the neighborhood, your town, even. Now it's the entire freaking world. You could broadcast a tweet and screw somebody's life up in like freaking 15
sure.
seconds, you know?
I think for me, and it seemed to really get bad around when Trump was elected, and now with all the COVID stuff. I don't need celebrities. I don't need the government. I don't need the media telling me what misinformation is. Like I really don't. I'm really tired of being treated like an idiot and a child.
No, same
Especially
here.
especially by the I'm sorry, especially by the celebrity media class. Like seriously, like Neil Young, I dig the music, but when it comes to your opinion on matters like that, I do not care.
Exactly. And I think it goes back to what we were first talking about when we started talking on this. I feel like people now just wear that shit on their sleeve. When I remember back in the day, um, when I assisted a raunchy comedian who would talk about every single topic on the table, somebody asked him about politics, and he's like, "Nope, don't touch that."
Yeah, third rail right there.
we 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 don't touch that one. Um, but yeah,
There's only
it's
Sewell.
there's only so
There is no Dana, only Zool.
only Zool. Yeah, I think once they sliced footage to make a 17-year-old kid in a red-headed hat or a red hat look like a freaking bigot. I think that's for me when I was like, all right, I'm done. Like, why would I ever believe anything you have to say when they got
Well,
caught in so many lies, different types of footage, and I don't even think it's like left media. I think it's corporate media, because
well,
essentially, oh, go ahead.
yeah. I mean, just look at COVID, right? And I don't want to get into a deep conversation on that because God forbid. But if you take a look at what was deemed misinformation and what you could get banned for saying at the beginning of the pandemic, and actually Joe Rogan said some of this stuff when he made his 9-minute mea culpa, about if you question the efficacy of cloth masks at the beginning of this thing, or you said that COVID might have come from a lab, you were deemed dealing in misinformation, and in some cases you were stricken from places like YouTube. And now it's like, yeah, there's studies out there that show this stuff, and there's a growing group of the scientific community that's saying, hey, some of this stuff looks like it could have came from a lab. That's the point that I think he's making, is that in the marketplace of ideas, nothing should really be off limits. Now, that's within reason, right? Like you don't
Yeah,
want you don't want like a lot of like Nazi stuff, and there's extremes on either side.
Oh, like that freaking college professor who came out recently, a college professor recently who came out like advocating for pedophilia, basically.
Yeah,
You don't want stuff like that, yeah.
but there's people out there that say like the best way to combat that stuff is not to shut it down, because when you shut it down, you almost lend credibility to it, because like, oh, they don't want it even being said. The best way to counter a shitty idea is with facts and good ideas, in my opinion.
No, I agree with you. And I'm also, to piggyback off your point, I've always been of the mindset, give a dumbass the biggest bullhorn you can give them and let them expose themselves as idiots, because if you have a well-educated population, they're going to destroy themselves.
Sunlight is the best disinfectant.
Agreed. Sim-
Oh,
what the fuck?
truck rally, man.
Oh,
Canada.
the truck rally. Oh, dude, truckers are saving them. Canadian truck drivers are saving freedom in America. Did you ever think you'd hear yourself say that?
Honestly, at this point, I don't have faith that our political leaders, who are now married to the idea that their way is the only way to combat this. I, look at the rest of the world. I mean, Denmark saying we're done, Britain saying we're done, and here in the United States and in Canada, they're like more masks, more control, more vet, and it's just like, at the end of the day, everyone's going to have to make a choice for themselves. I mean,
Yeah. So my household, we just got over the Omicron. And I'll be upfront. We're vaccinated, all of us, and it was like a cold. So at this point in time, I'm just of the mindset of, look, we did everything we could have possibly done to stop this thing, right? Canada, bitch. Boom, A. He had to. Did you have to type in the A, seductive skill? Sorry, booted. Oh wow, now he's like typing in Canadian.
Do Canadian keyboards autocorrect to that?
Maybe, I don't know. That is a good question. Holy crap.
I'm trying to get my iPhone to learn so that it will autocorrect to fuck instead of always going to duck.
Dude,
I never say duck.
Does Grammarly by chance do something like that, to where you could actually like wire it up so it affects your autocorrects at the operating system level? I think that because I have Grammarly installed on Firefox, and every time, like, it corrects everything, every form on every website when
Interesting.
at least every text area. And it's not just spelling, your total grammar. And I definitely use that thing before I send out any emails to anybody. But yeah, I agree with you. And then sometimes, like, and anybody in the chat, feel free to chime in, but does the iPhone actually like memorize your response to things you have written previously? Because sometimes I'm like, I had to catch myself. So Busio and Dustin Daniels, full send, is gonna be in a handicap match against a new guy named Duke Bennett, who's beaten both of them one-on-one, and he's gonna fight them next Saturday. I sent Busio a DM, and I said, just kick him. I said, kick him in the dick, but it changed kick to lick. But luckily, I caught it before I sent it, right? So I almost sent another man a DM that says, lick him in the dick. So that would have been interesting.
Well, I don't really know how to respond to that, so I'm just gonna let that linger.
Yeah, let it linger. Yeah, let it stew for a little bit, right? Let the aroma just kick in. I wonder, there's got to be a setting to where you can not do that, but then there's been so many times when I screwed myself up where I need the autocorrect. But yeah, fucking turns into ducking. Sometimes like names get mispopulated and things of that nature. But I figure, since you and I are 6 days from our competition,
It's less than 6 now, because it's Sunday evening now, man.
Sunday evening, so we're like 5 sleeps.
5.5.
5.5. Yeah, so we're like 5 sleeps away from the show, baby. Yeah. And your camera froze up. Oh no, it's back. No, it's back. It's back. It's back. It's back. Yeah. So basically, what you and I are going to be doing is we both drink about a gallon of water a day.
God, more than
starting
that.
tomorrow, it's going to be like a gallon and a half and 2 gallons of water a day. And then what we're going to do is we are going to, over time, slowly start to cut the water. That way the day of the show, we're going to be all like freaking nice and dry and all grainy and whatnot. So,
That's why, yeah, you got to get all veiny and shit. Yeah.
Yeah. No, dude, I'm lifting now, and I got all these like I never have veins, but now I'm starting to see them pop. I don't have like the bicep veins that you have because you stole all the arm genetics.
I'm not even flexing, man. That's just that's just the way it is.
Yeah, man. What do you weigh right now?
190.
Dude, 190. So that tells me, because what were you on stage last time?
190.
Dude, so you look way more shredded than last time, but you're the same weight. So that told me you put on some serious muscle since then.
I feel like it, and I think I'm really looking forward to seeing the pictures from this show versus the last one.
Yeah. Oh, dude, like, I can't wait till, because the thing is, I'm not going to be doing like a full carb up like the enhanced guys do. Neither are you, but it's like you slowly add those carbs so it starts to fill out over time. Mm-hmm. I can't wait till I'm carbed up, tanned, and even shaved. And
that starts tomorrow, man.
Yeah, I know. Like, you got to start slowly shaving everything, and then This is the interesting part about bodybuilding. When you're training for a show up to the last week, it's like the most masculine thing ever. It's like, yeah, man, I'm lifting weights, trying to get as big as possible. Yeah. Then the week of, it's like, yeah, I gotta watch my carbs. I gotta make sure I'm nice and moisturized and exfoliated and nice and smooth. That way, when my spray tan comes on, it's gonna look nice and
luxurious.
Gotta have that luxurious tan, yeah.
So why don't you walk everyone? So it's show week, right? Thank God.
Yeah.
I am gonna wreck some shit Saturday night. I'm just letting you know, man.
Dude, Saturday, because Saturday you have the party bus, right?
We have the stretched Escalade limo, which is going to be a mobile bar on the strip. So we're just going to go. The guy, he'll go wherever the hell we tell him to go, man.
Dude, all right. So who is going to be on the bus with us? Is it the usual players, or is it the whole Slammer clan?
It's the whole clan. I mean, we may even pick up some people. You never know.
Dude, just pick up some guys, pick up some folks. I'm down with that.
You never know who you're going to run into in Vegas, man. You
never know who you're going to run into in Vegas. That is correct.
But it is show week, right? So, so I can kind of speak to what I do, but what I do is really what you tell me. So why don't you walk everyone through what the next couple of days are going to look like?
Yeah, so the main thing is it's like
posing, man.
Posing. So what you and I have to do, it's like the work has been done. We ain't putting on any more muscle between now and Saturday. We have to play a very serious, a very careful game here. Because on one hand, we have to lose as much fat as possible, maintain our muscle mass. Yeah, we have to get dry while not getting depleted at the same time. So like full yet dry at the same time. So in terms of training, everything turns into a total body workout minus the quads. So today is going to be my last leg day, my last full leg day. But then starting tomorrow, it's going to be a lot of supersetting and a lot of tri-setting based off what we're doing, right?
Yeah, that's my plan.
Yeah, a lot of supersetting, a lot of tri-setting. And then cardio is going to stay the same, which is going to be like 60-minute steady state cardio. We're going to slowly dial it back in both length and intensity because once again the work has been done. And then it's a lot of posing practice because it's not just about how we built the muscle and how we burnt the fat. It's about how we showcase and displayed it. My coach helped me solve it. Have you got a chance to work with Muay Thai again?
No, so basically what I've been doing is just watching a lot of the posing videos and then just taking some video of myself and trying to compare the two.
Okay.
But yeah, my focus this week is a lot of posing every day, right?
Yeah. No, that's what I do because what people don't understand is posing is part of the game. Like that's a
Oh yeah.
big part of the game. And in the OCB rules, what's cool about them is everybody gets the same amount of time in which they're observed. So, but you don't know if you're observed in the beginning or at the end. And you got 5 judges. And what they do is in the OCB is they have a list, and each judge says, okay, this is who I think won first, second, third, fourth, and then they make a comparison. Oh, you still there?
Yeah, I lost. It looks like I lost your video, man.
All right, hold on, hold on. One of my, just a second. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can't see you, man.
All right, hold on. I'm coming back. Hold on. We are coming back. I don't know if power blew out or just one sec. Let's see. So just one second. So I had 2 monitors going, and then one of them just blew out on me. So keep talking.
Yep. So while Jack there is figuring that out, as everyone can see, I have shaved the training beard this week, so that was like stage 1 for me. Don't want any ingrown hairs happening. You know, a little bit of scruff right now, but that's gonna go by the wayside here. But I already sent Jack a picture. I'm already starting to pack because I fly on Wednesday, and then Jack and the rest of the clan shows up on Thursday, and then Friday's just prep day, right? So we got to go. We got the polygraph, then we got to go get spray tanned. This time we're going to be smart and not go to the Saw escape room after getting spray tanned.
No, we are not going to do that this
around
time.
On grading and shit, and your spray tan's rubbing off. So I think pretty much as soon as we get spray tanned on Friday, it's just going to be like just chill. And then, you know, I got to remember to pack an extra sheet so I don't get that spray tan all over the sheets at the condo. And then get ready for Saturday. I'm already packing some Three Musketeer bars and some chocolate covered espresso beans, man. That's what I'm talking about. I'm gonna be all frickin' cornholio up on the stage. Just like,
all right. So I'm gonna drop off real quick, and then I'm gonna come back in. All right.
Okay.
All right. Just wait for me.
And uh-oh. I don't think we're live anymore. Oh no, we're live. Never mind. So wonder how long it's going to take him to get back on here. This is going to be interesting. But yes, so chocolate covered espresso beans, which are just mwah, I'm telling you. And then Three Musketeer bars, just because when you can't have junk for so long and you got to be all like sugared up so you have some energy to be out there. You got that. That's my go-to right there is the Three Musketeer bar, the chocolate covered espresso beans. Get out there, do the thing, and then immediately afterwards make a beeline for the carbiest beer that I can find. I was also telling Jack earlier, I've just been having this craving for like the last 3 weeks for lime tortilla chips. And yeah, here he is. I was telling him I've had this craving for lime tortilla chips and buffalo chicken dip. And I've had it for like 3 weeks, man. Like I've just been like, I want some freaking tortilla chips and some buffalo chicken dip, and I will be finding some of that after Saturday.
Nice. Oh, dude, I just want pizza. I want pizza. And I want beer. Like those 2 things would just make the world a way better place for me right now.
And then eventually we're going to have to make our way back to the Nuggets so I can hit another royal flush.
Oh, dude, there's
And we can play blackjack again, man. I'm telling you.
Oh, dude, I love playing blackjack. What I just miss the tables where you didn't have to automatically play that jackpot game automatically.
It's a nice
So basically, it's only $1, yeah, but still, it's like I don't know. But
it's just whenever you hit it, it's like. But you know what? If you're paying 3-2 on blackjack, and you make a $15 bet and you get $15 back on the bonus, so be it. And it's usually like 15 or $20. Every now and then you get lucky and it's like 30, and it's like, holy shit. It's
yeah,
never the jackpot.
oh
Even when that thing is landing on the jackpot,
yes,
it always slides right into that $10 or $15 slot, and it's like, you know what?
no, it's never gotten past 25. But and what the thing is, and it's always a cruel joke. Jackpot and $10 are within like two of the. It's like a Wheel of Fortune style wheel, and the two are just like right next to each other. So you think it slows down, like it's just gonna hit it. $10. Aw,
But don't forget, we're gonna have Sister Slammer there, and
we are.
Sister Slammer. That has so many connotations. We just meant our sister will be there.
Yes, our sister will be there. Not sisters, just sister, right?
And exactly, and then we're gonna have some other relatives there, and they are the roulette players. So we're definitely gonna go own some roulette as well. So we got the roulette, we got the blackjack, got the video poker. We're gonna be drinking some beer. It's gonna be fantastic. We're gonna win some money. We're gonna have some fun. Like you said, you want to win. You always want to win, but for me personally, if I look better than I did the last time, it's not so much important to me how I place, because it's a process for me, because I'm not to where I want to be yet. So after this, like you were saying, we're going to go into a longer off season.
Yeah.
And come back for the next one, which will be my third show, just jacked out of my mind. That's the goal, right?
Yeah.
So, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. First things first, we got to get through this week, got to get through the show, and then we got to drink some alcohol and eat some carbs. It's going to be fantastic, brother. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, brother. So basically, I'm going to go to wrestling class on Wednesday night. After said show, coming home, taking a shower, packing my bag, heading straight here. Straight to Vegas, I should say.
Now, Mr. Fernandez doesn't have any matches on Friday, does he?
Mr. Fernandez, I believe, is not booked for this Friday. No, he is not.
Good,
but he did win his match on Friday, though.
Of course he did.
Yeah, we're 3-0, baby. 3-0.
Mr. Fernandez is on a course right to the top, brother.
Top for the prop, brother. Yeah. Yeah, man. No, dude, that's been fun. It's been fun watching Mr. Fernandez kick some ass and make his presence known in the MPW. So
heck yeah,
we're very excited for that. A couple of nerds have punched me in the face the past couple of weeks, so that will be addressed very, very soon. But
yeah,
we'll cross that bridge.
That's not
later.
cool. That's not cool, man. No one.
And it's always been a sucker punch too. Like,
of course,
Darwin, who I thought we were cool. Sucker punch. What the hell? Then freaking Brendan Devine. All I did was I thought he was attacking the referee, so I tried to pull him off. And yeah, I thought I could give him one to calm him down. He ducks it, hits his finisher on me, left on red, then boom, knocks me out into the straight out of the ring. So you know what? I think I need to make a very clear message that I am not somebody you put your hands on. So that's going to be addressed in the next coming weeks. Mark my words there.
MPW should be giving you a commendation for trying to protect the referee like that, though.
Here's the thing, man. Anytime I interjected myself into the ring was just to ask, hey, why are the rules not being equally applied or equally enforced, I should say. Equity. That's what we all want, right? That's what everybody's pushing for is equity. So I'm like, why aren't the rules being equally enforced on both tries? And then, freaking Darwin was using a closed fist. I thought this was illegal in all of wrestling. But, apparently not. That's not the thing anymore. So, hey, we'll We will. Certain things will be addressed in the next coming week.
Well,
So.
well, with a man of integrity like Mr. Fernandez, with another man of integrity such as yourself behind him, you'll be able to get past all these lawless rule breakers and these shady characters, and do the right thing to get Mr. Fernandez to where he needs to be. And like you said, teach these clowns a lesson that they should not be putting their hands on Mr. Slammer.
Oh, that's 100% true. Basically, the crypto cartel, we are extremely intelligent. We're going based off, we make our decisions based off the analytics, not based off of emotions. But some justice will be served in the coming weeks. That's all I can say for
It
right
has to
now.
be. It has to
It just
be.
has to, because in order for us to act according to the analytics, to the charts, to the data, we need to make sure that the data's clean. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
100%. So I figured with this episode, stepping outside of my head of security job, which I love for Mr. Fernandez, I figured we'd talk a little bit about some of my favorite training myths that I have heard from clients, people who have paid me money, that they had thought. And I think you could give a couple of your favorite ones yourself.
Oh,
so Here is my favorite one. Well, I heard that lifting weights builds fat on top of more fat. I don't even think that's a myth. I think that's just somebody who got bad information, or they were just like, well, I don't want to work out, and that sounds like a credible excuse. So they thought that by lifting weights, it will just build more fat on top of fat. That is correct.
Wow. Well, that's interesting.
Well, I would be one obese motherfucker, because the second myth, and this was by a guy who had a PhD next to his name, or a doctor in front of his name. So, guy went to school for 10 years to say something this stupid.
Is this about to be misinformation?
I mean, I would say what this dude said was misinformation, yeah. He said that protein lives in your system for 5 years. So it takes 5 years to fully digest a protein shake. Now, I am somebody who consumes about 4 scoops of protein powder every single day of my life. So I would probably be a metric freaking ton right now.
Here's a question.
Yeah.
How long this is such an awful question. How long does semen stay in the balls?
How long? Oh, dude, that's a good
Maybe
question.
that's what he was talking. Maybe that was the protein he was speaking of.
Well, I mean, if it takes like 5 years to get rid of, wouldn't like we all be walking around with freaking wheelbarrows at that point?
Yeah, that's a good point.
I mean, that would it would be like an episode of South Park, right? We're all like bouncy ball, like on our bouncy balls. Just
anything for some medicinal fried chicken.
Medicinal fried medicinal fried chicken.
That's an interesting one. Protein. It takes you 5 years to digest protein. Wow.
Protein powder. So
protein. Oh, it's strict to protein powder.
Yeah. I would say I would not be 169 pounds right now if that was the case. Also, I mean, because my coach has me on freaking 4 scoops of protein powder a day.
Nice.
So, yeah, so I drink 2 protein shakes a day right now. So,
badass, man.
And I get a tablespoon of peanut butter. So, and I don't want to waste it by putting it in a blender.
So you just...
Oh, dude, I lick that up. And then Amelia's gotten a kick out of it because I've been using... I always tell people to use that Primal Kitchen sauces, whether it's the ketchup, the steak sauce, or the barbecue sauce. Brother, I'm licking up the fucking plate at this point.
Same thing.
If there's any residue of sauce left, I'm licking it up. Like, I don't even care who knows.
Dude, I'm not ashamed to admit it. Whenever I use some of that low-carb barbecue sauce.
Yeah.
Like, I'm measuring, okay, I get X number of tablespoons, boom, 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 lick the spoon, whatever's left on the plate, I'm sitting there and I'm like, because I'm like, I'm taking credit for it, I'm eating that shit, and exactly. I don't care.
Yeah, dude.
So I don't care. There's no one here to judge me.
Dude, if you counted up those calories and those carbs, you fucking lick that plate. I don't give a damn. Like,
It's the same thing when I make a protein shake and there's like residual in the blender. I'm sitting there with a spoon going like, da, 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 just.
brother, that's how you know you're dieting properly. I don't care. Like, when I remember my coach gave me 10 ounces of sweet potato, a cup of rice, a cup of mixed vegetables, and a tablespoon of peanut butter. And that was the meal itself. And I remember thinking it was the most awesome fucking thing ever.
Well, and that's
oh, and I got a banana too. So
well, that's the thing about being on these types of diets is whenever I eat whatever the hell it is I'm eating, I just love it. It makes me appreciate food so much more.
oh, dude, here's what's sitting next to my desk. I don't know why, but I can't wait to use this kind of syrup again. You know, the 50 calories per two. Yeah, but it's still 50 calories per two tablespoons, and there's still 12 carbs per two tablespoons. That's why I don't use it.
And that's the light. And that's the light one.
That's the light one. Like people don't understand that condiments are the silent killer to any diet.
Same thing with salad dressing.
Yep. Salad dressing. Oh, my favorite myth is, here's the favorite one. Whatever you put on your salad is immediately healthy. Because
that and I'll give you another one. You gotta eat vegetables, right? So it's like, oh well, so long, even if you gotta cover the broccoli and cheese whiz, so long as you're eating it, at least you're getting the nutrients from the broccoli. And I'm like, yeah, you're also getting the fat and the calories from the cheese whiz.
Bro, what people have done, those mozzarella cheese sticks, like they'll actually like heat it up and wrap it around the broccoli. I'm like, that cancels out the goodness of the broccoli, because weight loss is all about the calories. If you're strictly looking to just lose weight, it's all about them calories. Caloric deficit and if you want to look better, your macros need to be adjusted properly. Like, macros are for what you look like. Calories are for how much what the scale says.
Well, so there's another myth, right? So it's if I'm allotted, let's say 1,600 calories for the day, right? Well, I want to save them all for dinner. So I'm gonna eat like 100-calorie, snack bar in the morning, which is loaded in carbs and nonsense.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna have another one at lunch, and then that way I can have pasta and frickin', and a full salad for dinner. And it's like, no. I mean, in terms of the totality of your caloric intake for the day, sure, but there's more efficient ways to lose weight over time than doing that.
Yeah.
It's the same attitude as sleep, right? It's like, well, I'll catch up on sleep. You don't catch up on sleep.
No.
You either get enough sleep or you don't. And that's the other thing. When you're dieting or working out, like, your body needs time to rest and heal, you got to make sure you're getting enough sleep, because if you're not, the hormones and shit that your body makes can actually be a detriment to the work that you're doing, right?
Exactly. Yeah. So people, like, I hate when they say, oh, well, muscles are really built in your sleep. No, muscle recovery happens in your sleep, which is a big, big part of the game. So if you don't get any sleep, that's essentially your repair time. So what we do to ourselves with hypertrophy is we cause all these micro tears within our muscle fibers. And then we utilize the protein, the nutrients that we acquire, and rest to help recover and help build it back a little bit better. You do not catch up on sleep. It's not like your body just says, okay, I need 40 hours worth of sleep in a week. So if you get 2 hours tonight, you could just get 12 hours the next day and we're good, bro.
As if it
doesn't
was
work
like
that way.
Savings account, right? It's like,
exactly.
No, sorry.
No, it does not. What is another fun one? Carbs are the enemy. No, carbs are not the enemy. In fact, carbs have a protein-sparing effect. Now, the reason why Steve and I go down so low is because we're in a process. Now, when bodybuilders carb deplete themselves, it's just because that's the optimal way to burn fat if you're trying to get shredded, right? Now, if you're just trying to get to 15%, like see some abs and just have like a fun life, you could eat as many carbs as you want as long as you're within your calories for the day to stay within a deficit, and you're getting enough protein. And what's also cool about carbs is they have a protein sparing effect. So essentially, you don't actually need as much protein when you're carved up, because your body's now using that as its energy. The reason why we have to get bumped up in our protein when we're preparing for a show is the fact we don't have those carbs to rely on, and our body is now using that for its energy. Yep. And basically you're going for that freaking thermo effect so that it'll actually burn more fat, which is why you and I look like fucking Greek gods right now. Which, here's the cool thing about Friday, man. I'm in the locker room, and you've seen the Jack Slammer manager getup, right? It's a full suit, and it gets hot in there, even though they got AC, even though the MPW arena is freaking awesome. It gets hot back there. So I was like, fuck this. I'm just going to take off my shirt, my stuff, and just wait for the last match, which was awesome, by the way. Like, the main event, watch this, because I don't know if you've been following the J2 anti-Heidi story.
No.
But if you follow that story, it's awesome. And the ending that I'm not going to spoil it for anybody, but what they did was freaking awesome. So pay attention to that. But anyways, I'm just like standing there, and then like all the other wrestlers were all like, damn, dude, you're shredded, man. So it's a good thing. And then,
that's what you want, right?
And then a few of the guys were like, dude, are you like dying? Are you getting ready for a show or something? I'm like, yeah, I am. So it was cool, like V-taper and stuff. So yeah, man, it's like, it's cool to, it's cool to be admired, especially by guys from people that I admire, right? So it's kind of that tit for tat thing.
Yeah, and especially, in a profession like being a professional wrestler where your body is important, right? So a lot of those guys are bigger guys. They're not always shredded, but it all depends on what their particular look is. But when you're getting that type of admiration from people whose body is their lifestyle,
exactly,
that always feels pretty good.
Yeah, because right now I'm just a dude who's doing this as a hobby, but from like the guys who are like really trying to go into AEW. In fact, there was a dude who was in AEW Dark from last week. He was the guy who faced Lance Archer. If you saw the last AEW Dark, he was
that got destroyed by Lance Archer.
Yeah, and then
because Lance Archer is challenging for the AEW World Title this week.
Exactly. And bro, here's the thing about AEW Dark. It's basically the boot in for a lot of guys who want to make their way in.
Absolutely.
And then it seems like the process for AEW now is AEW Dark is similar to their NXT, right? Like you go in, you're going to job, but you're going to be jobbing for like their main talent. So it's tit for tat in my opinion. It's like, hey, if you get one of those matches, it's already known you're going to lose. You're going to get your ass whooped, and you're basically there so that the main guys can workshop some new moves, but get to work with the top guys, and you have footage of that.
Well, I mean, it's like Monday Night Raw back when we were growing up, right? I mean, it would be, name guy versus jobber who was always some local independent wrestler, right? I mean, it's the same thought process. You got to give the stars an opportunity to showcase themselves, and oftentimes that requires an underneath talent who knows exactly what they're doing. So to make somebody like a Lance Archer look like a fucking monster so that he can go be, look legitimate when he challenges for the world title this week.
Yeah. And isn't that funny? Like Lance Archer versus Adam Page, there's a huge height discrepancy, but Archer is the underdog just based on how over a guy like Adam Page is. So
well, and the reality is that Adam Page isn't dropping the world title to Lance Archer, so it's
no. Speaking of AEW, you knew we were going to talk about this one. CM Punk versus MJF. With all the weight, I mean, I know this is just one of 3 battles. In my opinion, they're gonna run it back 3 times. How did you think it went?
So I think it went exactly the way I said it needed to go, which was he needed to win dirty, which he
Yep.
did, and in Chicago, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I got a little worried because they gave him the false win,
Yep.
and then they restarted it, and I'm like, oh my god, they're not gonna do this where they give him the false the false pin, and then Punk comes back and beats him. It was exactly what it needed to be.
And
I
and oh, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, the match went 40 minutes. The first 10 I thought was really slow, just my opinion.
Yeah.
That's why when I saw, I mean, eventually it picked up and it was great at the end, but people saying it was the greatest match of all time, I'm like, no, like it was
Yeah.
good, and it did what it needed to do for MJF, and the Wardlow tease where he came down and it looked like, okay, this is the moment he's going to be turning face, and then they didn't even have, they intentionally didn't have the right camera angle, but they showed it on replay where when Wardlow was face to face with Punk, how he slipped the dynamite diamond to MJF.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was so well done. It was exactly what it needed to be. Now follow up is key, right? So I'm interested to see what they do this week. I'll be in Las Vegas watching it, but
Oh,
it'll
we
be
both will. We both
it'll
will.
be it'll be interesting to see what the follow up is, and that's that'll dictate, are they going to immediately go back to MJF versus Punk, or does MJF, who is awesome on Twitter and Instagram, and talked about, did you see what he posted after he won?
No, I didn't see that. What did he say?
He's like, beat him in the second city. I basically beat that bum twice or something like that.
Beat that bum twice in the second
Yep.
city. Oh, damn. Oh,
So
oh,
so
that's good.
so it'll be interesting to see if obviously Punk will come out and demand justice, but if MJF comes out and he's like, you know what, no, I'm going to challenge for the world title now, or what they do, in other words, are they going to come immediately back to him and maybe do it at the pay-per-view, or are they going to have like MJF try and move away, because they've been around each other for multiple weeks now,
Yeah.
and they run the risk of it, leading into like MJF Jericho territory.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, note to Chris Jericho, that's how you put over a talent like MJF.
I agree.
Right.
Yeah, 100%.
Just saying.
And then I thought it was, to piggyback off your point, to go there, I thought it was really cool because when MJF took a little bit longer to get off him on the pin, he was just probably saying thank you so
Oh
much,
yeah.
like just super appreciative. And it's like, all right, now I got to go be a dick, man, but thanks. Like, I thought it was well done. I thought it was perfect. I thought it was a really good, logical match that
Mm-hmm.
made perfect sense. And even in the parts that were slow, there was nothing in the match that was out of place for me.
No,
The,
it was what it needed to be.
yeah. So what I think they do is I think they're both gonna attempt to go away from each other, but it's gonna organically gravitate back to the center in a way.
Yeah, I mean, I like the idea of Punk chasing him and MJF now being the one to big time Punk, like Punk did at
Yeah,
the beginning.
exactly.
I think that allows MJF to kind of move away, but doesn't make Punk look weak for now. Just oh well, got my first loss, and I guess I'm just gonna go wrestle Sean Spears. Like,
Yeah.
follow up is key. Like I said, I'm gonna be very interested in how they follow this up.
Well, dude, I mean, it's been the best thing on their show for a very long time. Like,
Well,
what do you
we'll get to
think?
that. We'll get to that in a minute, but
What do you think is the best thing on their show?
no. I agree that that's the best thing on their show, but something else happened on that show which has the potential.
Oh, are you talking Mox, Brian Danielson?
Yeah,
Yeah, I
that
sincerely agree.
was so interesting.
It was very interesting. It was very real. It was very authentic. But basically, MJF, CM Punk, I thought the payoff was great. Now it's about how you follow up on it, to your point. But
Could
for
you? Could
me,
you? No,
what's
go ahead.
up? For me, I would say if you were on the Dave Meltzer range, it was definitely a 4.5 star match. I'm not going to give it 5. Back when Dave Meltzer had credibility.
Well, it's going to be an 8-star match or a 10-star match or whatever he gives the Young Bucks.
Yeah.
15 stars.
because it was logical, because it's a wrestling match that looked like a wrestling match. Meltzer's gonna be like, well, it was 3.5 stars
Well,
because
and it didn't involve Kenny Omega or the Bucks, so that's
yeah.
immediately -4 stars right there.
Dude, I don't think Meltzer's on their payroll. I think that those guys probably just let him feel like he was one of them, so now he feels like he has to
Yeah,
give them a good review.
I don't think he's on their payroll. I just think he's up their ass.
Oh, ayo. All right. Last topic on the whole on AEW. Yeah, Moxley, Bryan Danielson. So, do you think that has potential to overshadow Punk and MJF, or
I
just
think
be something fresh?
I think they need something fresh to move on from Punk and MJF. I think that, like I said, it's the week before their interaction was like, okay, it's a little repetitive now. Like they're going to do the match, and then I wasn't even sure if they would actually do the match. They did, and you know what? It made sense for them to do it. I figured they'd save it for pay-per-view, but you know what? I think I think now they've set up more interest in a pay-per-view rematch, being that they had such a good match and the way that MJF won and that it happened in Chicago. It was Punk's first loss, but their show needs to be about more than that.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
I'm sorry, but like the stuff surrounding the world title right now, like I'm not big into Hangman Page, so I really
I'm a Hangman Page kind of guy, but I can see how that could be overshadowed by Mox and Bryan Danielson
well,
or something.
and that's why I was so intrigued by, like what are they going to do here? Is this a setup for them to just end up having a feud, or is this a setup for them to actually form some type of a stable? Beyond just the two of them teaming up, maybe they bring in like a Danny Garcia, like they talked about, or one of these younger guys that they mentioned, and form some type of like actual stable.
Yeah.
I mean, those stuff that Danielson was saying, like one of them's the world champion, one of them's the TNT champion, and they're both the tag team champions. Like I'm like, man, that's kind of interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So it's and that immediately gets me into like, man, what do you do? Like I don't think you want to go back to Mox as the world champion. So you have Danielson go after Hangman Page, but he's already lost to him. I don't think that there's really anything that there's money in having Mox as the world champion. Plus, with his recent rehab stint, like
Yeah.
they probably don't want to put the world title on him. But
Mm-hmm.
could you put the TNT title on him? And like
Yeah.
I don't know, like it was interesting. And again, follow-up's key, right? So how's Mox going to respond? Is it going to be like when Jericho was trying to get him to join the Inner Circle?
Yeah.
Obviously different time, different scenario, different talent levels in the company.
Yeah.
Very, very interested. This coming Wednesday is going to be a very interesting night because of all the follow-up that has to happen, and you've got the Texas Death Match for the world title.
Oh my God. Okay,
So no,
here.
it'll be interesting.
All right, I think it's going to be a great match, so I'm not complaining about the match itself with the Texas Death Match because I think it's going to be an awesome match regardless.
Tony
My
loves
only
the
thing
stipulation
is
matches, man.
with AEW, it's never just a street fight. It's never just a death match. It's always like, oh, it's going to be a Minneapolis street fight. Oh, it's going to be a Texas death match. I'm just like, okay, is Texas known for its death matches? Is Minneapolis known for its street fights? Like, what are the... It wasn't even a street fight. They just put some freaking trash cans with some weapons around the ring.
Yeah,
I thought the way I envisioned it was they were going to just fucking meet in the alley and just go to town on each other or something, right?
honestly, I'm just tired of all the stipulation matches. I think Tony's got a thing for these stip matches. Just give me a straight up match. I don't need to see the garbage.
You know what? I think he bases his booking on a lot of maybe he just played the video game back in the day and remember when you could book your own match. It's like, oh sweet, I'm gonna have Hell in a Cell. I'm gonna have Cage. I'm gonna have.
I think he clearly was a fan of about 94 through 2000 era wrestling, both WWF and WCW, because it's like I said, even the week before with the ladder match for the TNT title, that just
Rip off.
reeked of Razor Shawn at WrestleMania 10 with the two belts, and I was just like, Like, and I don't even want to go down that road because I don't even know why they swapped the TNT title off and then off of Sammy and then had him come back as an interim champion and have him be the one to unify it all. Like, I don't know what that was all about. But whatever.
Hey,
There's hits and there's misses in the world of professional wrestling. And right now AEW's got a solid hit and the potential for some more.
mhm.
And on the WWE side, there's always potential, but it never seems to live up, except for the Royal Rumble, where everything was super predictable.
Everything was predictable, but the unpredictable stuff was like mind-boggling to me. And you've heard the reports that Shane McMahon is basically he didn't get fired, but essentially all future plans for him ended. So he's still going to make money off of his talent contract. They're just not going to do anything with him.
Yeah. Well, apparently he was only under a talent contract.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's not an executive with the company. He was only on a talent contract.
But why is he getting blamed for the Royal Rumble then if he
Because
was just talent?
apparently he was one of the producers, is my understanding. And look at the way look at the final six or the final four. You had Shane McMahon and Bad Bunny.
Yeah, and
Like,
here's the thing about the Final Four. That's usually the spots that you reserve for the guys who are either on the top or you're trying to elevate. Because I thought the Final Four I thought was going to be like Big E, Theory.
dude,
I thought definitely McIntyre was going to be. Actually, I thought McIntyre was injured. I didn't even think he was going to be in the Rumble.
yeah, there was rumors that he was going to be back, but when you take a look at how it was going to be booked, and this is where I said, because you were predicting, potentially a Big E win, or at least that he would be booked strong. The way that they booked him lately, I'm like, no. And at the end, when you look at the end result, Bad Bunny had a stronger showing at the Rumble than Big E did.
Yeah, Bad Bunny, and I think that's because those guys are probably fans of his music and they just wanted to put him over. But
Well, and
he hit it.
he can go a little bit, like
He's actually pretty goddamn good, dude. I mean, I can't hit a fucking Canadian destroyer. Like, I mean, all of his moves look good, and then if you actually look at how he acted within the Rumble, he did what he was supposed to do. He was like, "Wait, I don't need to fight anybody. I'm gonna hang on to this bottom rope for dear life until I have to fight somebody."
But again, he's booked as the one who makes sense.
Yeah,
Like, he should be the one that's making like stupid mistakes because he doesn't know what the hell he's doing, and instead you have you got people flying over the top ropes and stuff like that, and you got they go to eliminate Bad Bunny, and they have Bad Bunny be the one to go face to face with Brock Lesnar. I mean, come on.
dude.
You couldn't let Big E be there to be the one. I mean, to just go face to face with them, take the F5 and get eliminated.
I am going. See, this may be my Luigi hat, but we're gonna change this to my conspiracy theory hat for 1 second. With the recent, with how things were recently thrown together because Reigns had COVID, so he didn't get to fight Lesnar. So then now there's a bunch of stuff that was just up in the air and weird. Do you feel like some guys in the back were just like, "Fuck it, I'm not going over the top for Lesnar. That's not going to happen." So maybe they were just so pissed off that they're just like, "All right, fine, I'll compete in this thing to get my check, but I'm not. But he's not going to be the one to throw me out." So
I just think they have no idea how to book this stuff anymore.
Because the Royal Rumble seemed like so easy. Like, if you were gonna have Lesnar come out and win, he should be beating a bunch of world beaters. And I have no problem with Bad Bunny being in there. I actually thought he was a pretty good 24/7 champ when he had the belt. Like, I thought he was pretty cool how he conducted himself and all that. And I think he should have came out around the same time as Johnny Knoxville. Maybe taken Knoxville out. That would have been something. And then maybe one other undercard guy and then go. But I know. Do you think Zayn and Knoxville are going to go at WrestleMania?
Probably. I mean, that's their MO. That's how they do shit.
And do you think Knoxville will go over based on some stupidity?
Well, so Zayn re-signed with the company too, so you never know. But I mean,
Yeah.
I don't even know what to think anymore. The product, well, I mean, we both nailed our predictions, right? So
We did. I mean, I was 4-2. I think I missed the mixed gender match, and the only reason I went that way was I was like, okay, why would they have these guys go again if it was just for Edge to beat them twice? unless you wanted to have a rubber match. So maybe this means that the feud is ended, or have they touched base on
It's
that
got
yet?
to be over, but that's why it made more sense for Miz to win at day one, which is why I had Miz going over at day one. So it's like, all right, whatever. But I was 6-0, brother.
You were 6-0, so I think our records are pretty much comparable now. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're at a dead heat here. So as we get into Elimination Chamber in a couple weeks, and then obviously the big show in WrestleMania, rather 38. So the next couple, after we get done with Showtime here, the next couple of weeks are going to be very interesting. But
We'll see.
right
You
now it's
have
all about the show.
you have taught me to not follow my heart. You have taught me to be a stone cold bastard and just accept the truth. So I think that's why this season of predictions is a lot better than last year and last year's predictions.
I will take that compliment.
Yep. So you have taught me to just be a cold-hearted bastard, and it's
I
worked
do,
for me. So I
I
should
do,
I should
I
probably
do
thank you
what I
for that.
can. I do what I can.
Absolutely. All right. So Shane McMahon. So you think everything unfolded the way that they wanted it to unfold?
I think that's the way it was booked. And I think that after the fact, they said, wow, this was a steaming pile of shit. And,
Shane took the fall for it.
well, I mean, if he was responsible,
Yeah, it's true. But
just goes to show you the power that Nick Khan has if he can fire a McMahon. Holy shit.
dude, not just a McMahon's
Nobody's safe.
son. Like, it wasn't like a third cousin or
At
like,
what point do they bring in Vince and they say, like the board is unanimous? Like the scene in the first Spider-Man movie when they bring in Norman Osborn and they're like, well, the board is unanimous. And he's like, I started this company.
yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah.
at what point does Nick Khan come in with the board and is just like, well, we expect your resignation, Vince.
5 minutes after they sell it to Disney. 5 minutes. They're like, yeah, we made our money, and you made your money. Bye. And then I think Vince is like, I saw this coming. Like, what do you think Vince? Because I heard that dude is just like most billionaires are just tireless workers.
Oh, I'm sure.
What do you think he does with himself afterwards? Because guys like that like to stay busy. Do you think he takes a second shot at? Oh wait, no. The Rock bought the XFL, right?
Yep.
And the rights to it. Has there been any talks into when they're going to get that going again, or are they waiting for the dust to settle on this COVID thing?
I thought I heard 23.
Okay,
I
because
think they're really trying to make it like a minor league for the NFL. And the interview that if you saw the Manning cast for the playoff game where they had The Rock on, he kind of alluded to that. So I mean, I wouldn't surprise me to hear that the XFL strikes some kind of deal with the NFL to be
Yeah.
like instead of having these guys on like practice squads and needing to go to the CFL and stuff like that, if they have a televised minor league, the XFL, where you have a couple guys that so that way they don't have to go to like the CFL or do arena football or something like that. It'll be interesting to see. Again, follow up's key, right? Just like I said with AEW, you know, but being that The Rock has the profile that he does and the connections that he does, it would not surprise me to hear that they strike some kind of deal, but we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, so if you were to run it like the minor leagues, would you do it? I would imagine you would want to do it before the NFL season began or immediately after during their off season. That way, if they really do want to use it like a minor league system, the teams could post draft because isn't it like half of the people selected for the NFL are undrafted prospects, right?
Yeah, but so here would be my question though. Why have it before or after the season? Why not have it during? And
Oh,
then
so if guys go out, you could just pluck them off,
yeah,
and then
and then just pick a day other than Sunday to play the games. Have it be like a Friday, Saturday night thing or something like that, or maybe even, God forbid, make it a weekday thing and spread the games across. And then you have like football every day because they're not going to draw NFL numbers after the season or before the season. And before the season, you're probably not going to be able to do it. So
and then you're probably going to
maybe do it
be
that way.
Then you're going to be footballed out by the time you do
Yeah.
it afterwards because you need an off season. Even the
I
fans
mean,
do.
wasn't that really? I mean, well, the first XFL was gimmicked. Eventually, it got to it got ridiculous with all the extra gimmicks that they were employing, and then this version of the XFL died because of COVID. It was a little bit better, but it's if you're advertising it as a competitor to the NFL, you're never gonna it doesn't have the same talent level. But if you use it as a feeder pipeline, like a minor league, like I go to minor league baseball games, especially if it's for my team, because
Yeah.
I like to see the talent that maybe one day will end up making the squad,
Oh, bro, I watched the NBA G League for that same
and
reason.
it gives these guys an opportunity to play football on TV.
Yeah. That way,
You
when
know,
the bright lights are on them, it's over. And then also, they get a lot more. They can build up their brand, their publicity, and then it's good for both sides. And then instead of being paid league minimum, they can make some actual money because it's a televised product. And
mm-hmm.
then if you're a hardcore football fan, and then you can be like, well, damn, this guy's good. Why don't you? And then it'll cause more intrigue because the guy who wins the XFL, what do they call it? They called it the $1 million game, right?
Yeah, it was. Well, originally it was called the big game at the end, and then it became the $1 million game. And
Oh my god, the first. They're correct by just make it a minor league feeder system for the NFL because they're always going to view you as secondary anyways. So just make yourself part of the process, and I think that is probably the smartest thing I've heard because the NFL really doesn't have like a G League; they have practice squads. So
yeah, and I think it helps fight the connotate or the perception rather that the XFL is just a bunch of washed up NFL wannabes. Where if it's like, okay, obviously these guys were not good enough to make the 52 or maybe even the active practice squad, but they're at least more than just washed up, like going fishing for like a Johnny Manziel or something like that.
yeah, how I heard Johnny's like Manziel has not done well anywhere, even post NFL. Like he's had a pretty rough go of it.
I my last I heard, he was trying to get an XFL contract, which just that tells you everything you need. Or not XFL, the
CFL.
American. No, it was that other minor
Is it the Arena
football league.
Football League or?
Not arena. It was like the American the American football something or other. They had like one season like 2 years ago or something like that.
Oh man, Johnny Manziel. He was the Heisman
The
Trophy winner,
Association
right?
of American Football or something like that. Yeah, he won the Heisman. Yeah.
So he's like one of those dudes who is like stereotypical, amazing college player. You put him up against the killer elite of the NFL and he crumbled, right? Or what? Or I heard, wasn't it more of his like locker room antics that got him? Ah, okay.
Yeah, he had some issues with the sauce, is my understanding. But
Damn.
but hey, brother, we're gonna be in Vegas for the Super Bowl.
Speaking of getting sauced up,
We're gonna be making some prop bets.
Oh yeah.
It's gonna be like I have yet to ever. As many times I've been to Las Vegas, I've never been there for the Super Bowl. So I'm looking forward to making some Super Bowl bets, and hopefully we'll make some money, brother. Yeah.
Make some money, brother. Yeah. Well, I think the smart money is probably going to be the Rams. They're going to have home field advantage, Super Bowl. And even though I think the Bengals have, they were like the surprise of the season for a lot of people. Like, I didn't see the Bengals in the Super Bowl. I do feel like, though, this is their best shot at winning a Super Bowl because it's the best opponent they could have asked for. It's the home field advantage, and it's Super Bowl time, so you're going to get all that excitement and all that hype towards you.
So prediction time. So you're predicting the Rams?
I think Rams will win
Pick a score.
21-7.
Wow, 21-7.
21-7.
I am gonna go against the grain here. I am gonna predict a Bengals Super Bowl victory with a final score of 31-28 in overtime.
Oh, you think it's going to go down to the wire? Okay, yeah, and actually
28 Bengals.
That's smart because the Rams always try to lose towards the end of every game. It always be You know I'm right. That's the thing. They'll be up by 3, and then they can't help themselves. But
I think the Bengals are just playing with house money at this point, and Burrow is frickin' man. That guy has ice water in his veins, man.
and have the Bengals ever won a Super Bowl?
I'm sure that they have.
Like probably like back in the day type,
Google
right?
machine time.
Google machine time. How many Super Bowls have the Bengals won?
Let's see. The Bengals have won. Bengals Super Bowl history. So I know that they were in. I know that they were in the '80s. I remember that.
Yeah.
Their last Super Bowl appearance came in 1988, and they
lost,
see.
right? Like, do they like how many? Okay, I'm googling it.
Well, they lost to apparently to Joe Montana. Their last Super Bowl win. Cincinnati is the only team of the conference finalists that has not won a Super Bowl.
Oh.
So they played in 81, they played in 88. So I am predicting their first Super Bowl championship, 31-28 in overtime. Jack has the Rams 21-7.
Yeah, because I know people who train at MPW or Millennium Wrestling Academy, I should say, who have season tickets to the Rams. So if I publicly bet against them, I'm probably gonna get kendo sticked. So
right now,
so I'm gonna go 21-7.
Right now, LA is favored. Let's see here. It is, what's the point spread right now? Los Angeles is a 4.5 point favorite.
4.5 point favorite, okay.
And the over-under on total points scored is 48.5. So you would have the under, and I would have the over.
All right, so we're both gonna play some bets and see who wins some money.
We're gonna do some prop betting. It's gonna be good. I'm gonna bet on who's gonna win the coin toss, how long the national anthem. I'm gonna get crazy, brother.
Wait, you can bet on like how long the national anthem will be?
Oh yeah. We're gonna get. I'm gonna as soon as I get in, I'm gonna go grab the forms for what all the options are for us to bet on for the Super Bowl, and we're gonna go crazy.
Okay, I have to ask this question, and it's not to sound insensitive, but it's because I saw it on South Park. Is it true you can actually bet on whether or not they're gonna kneel during the national anthem?
Oh, that I don't know. We'll see.
Okay, because no, I heard that like
if Vegas can make money on it, they'll offer a bet on it.
Okay. Damn, that is interesting. So you can go length, coin toss. Could you? I wonder how deep it can go. Like, do they elect to kick or to receive? Do they elect?
Oh yeah, you can. I'm sure that they have all that. Like I said, I'll grab forms, and that way, when you arrive on Thursday, we'll be able to map it all out, brother. It'll be fantastic. We're gonna need something to do Friday night when we're all tanned up and can't go anywhere.
We're tanned up, can't go anywhere, and we have to eat like a certain level of food. Now, are we staying at the same hotel we always stay at, or that you always stay at?
Yes, we're staying at my place.
Don't go broke, guys. Well, here's the thing, Seductive Steel. Myself and Steve, we never put anything on the table we cannot afford to lose. So
this is true.
So here's the thing. The difference between a gambling hobby and a gambling addiction.
Now my camera went dead. Hang on. Oh, keep going.
Yeah, the difference between a gambling hobby and a gambling addiction is whether or not you would put your mortgage payment on the table or your rent money on the table that day. So for me, Steve will attest to this. I spend like $100, $200 tops at the blackjack tables. Sometimes it turns into $400. Sometimes it turns into $0. But I'm just really there for the fun. And if you guys want to hack in Vegas, and you can do this at nearly any of the hotel bars or the casinos, most of the time you gotta have a guy. All right, you got to have a different guy or girl for different things, but one of the things you need is like you need to become friends with the bartenders. And the way you do that is as you play like video poker, they're going to give you complimentary drinks. So those you don't really have to pay for. But at the end of the night, they'll give you a little receipt that says, hey, here's how much you would have spent on these drinks. So you have cash on hand, and you tip the bartender half that money, because that's how you get out of a crazy bar bill. And Steve can attest to this because we have shut down Vegas bars before, even pre-COVID. So that's something to keep in mind. Steve, what's up, buddy? Okay, Steve is still fixing his camera and his stuff. Just saying, be careful. I can't afford to bail either of you out, let alone both of you. No, you won't.
Go.
You won't
right.
have to. You won't have to bail either myself or Steve out, because both of us do not have a gambling problem. We have a gambling hobby.
It's only a problem when you lose, brother.
Exactly. Oh, what's that saying? It's only gambling if you know you're not gonna win.
Exactly.
Oh my god! Listen, it's a sure bet. No, I remember there's these really, and then we'll go soon. We've been on for an hour and a half, but there's these really shady guys who were in the same condo complex as the comedian that I worked for. And if you guys want to know where the condo complex was, if you've ever been to Los Angeles, and there's this road you take upwards if you want to go to Universal Studios. And he lived in the condo complex there. I'm not going to name which condo, any of that crap. Nope. There's a bunch of them. There's like 100 units, so I'm not singling anybody out here. But there's these shady guys, and they ran like this modeling magazine, but none of their models looked like models, so you could tell. And the guys you talked to, you could tell it was totally was a front for not that kind of modeling. You could tell this was a front for some nefarious stuff. And they had told him, it's like, hey, if you place like 10 grand, we could turn it into $100,000 for you. And my boss got super excited, and he almost went with it until he went to a guy who actually earned his money by, operating a business to try to get him to throw in money on this too. And he had his people do a whole background check on these guys, and it turned out like that was their scam. They got people to like gamble. They were into all kinds of like larceny, like and all kinds of crazy stuff, embezzlement, like, and they had like all these businesses that they could legitimately funnel the money through. So that's the interesting gambling story. So he almost lost $10,000 thinking like something like, oh yeah, dude, there's this horse that's gonna be like 100-1, but I know they're gonna win.
The only sure thing in gambling is not gambling at all.
Exactly. Like, dude, you could. I remember seeing like a meme where somebody bet 250 grand on Ronda Rousey to beat Holly Holm, right? Ooh. And that was a bad bet. But then you have those great moments in gambling where people hit the trifecta, where I believe it was Lakers won a game even though they were bombing that season. Nate Diaz beat Conor McGregor, and then there was one other event, and I remember people just counting their money because it was like a 2,000-1 return. So
those are the types of bets we're going to be making, man. We hit one of those, golden.
Oh, golden, yeah. Like those you hit one of those, it pays for the trip, and then somewhere there's always at least one like double or trifecta, even a quadfecta that always happens where you can make your money and justify it back.
We even play the ponies, brother. We're going to do it all.
Dude, I'm ready. I'm bringing cash with me this time around.
Find a poker tournament? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, bro. Oh, we got to get some Macho Man sunglasses for the poker tournament, man. That's how you let those fuckers know it's serious. So
how I'm living, brother.
Last time, if you were vaccinated, it was no mask. Is that still the case there, or are they back to wearing masks in Vegas?
I'm fairly certain that they're enforcing masks.
Oh, yeah.
I'm fairly certain, yeah.
Because I remember how excited it was, because they were like, all right, well, if you're vaccinated, you're good.
Yep.
Enjoy America. Now it's like, well, we might have not given you the full correct information on these vaccines. We didn't misinform you. We just kind of razzle-dazzled you a little bit.
Nevada in general, they're governor's order is automatically updates to the latest CDC guidance, and I
Oh.
believe I read that the gaming commission for Clark County, which is where Las Vegas is being anal retentive about making sure that the casinos are enforcing masks. However, if I were to walk around with an unlit cigar in my mouth,
Dude, that's the thing. I'm like, all right, I can play by these rules. Part of me wants to just like take a TV tray, wrap a chain around like right here, strap it to the TV tray, and then just walk around with food and be like, I'm eating. I can't pass COVID to anybody.
we'll make it work, brother. If we're sitting at the bar with a drink in our hands, then
As long as I don't have to pose with a mask on, I'm fine.
Yeah, I'm really hoping that that's not the case, but
I don't think it will, because I think athletes have have an exemption, because otherwise, the Raiders couldn't have played the way that they played, all that stuff.
Well, and so that's the thing, right? So like even when you look at the fans on TV, it's like there's people are not wearing. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it, brother. But first thing we got to do is we got to get there.
We got to get there, brother. All right, cool. So I need to put together the rest of your instructions for your peak week, which starts tomorrow, brother. Yeah.
I am ready, brother.
Man, my titties look amazing right now. Like my latest Instagram post, like there's like striations all over my chest and shit.
Yeah.
My shoulders look good. I'm like, I'm ready, baby. We got this.
It's time to shine, man. Let's just do it.
Time to shine. All right, bro. Well, it was great spending an hour and a half speaking with you on a multitude of topics. I think this is the new format of the show. I have got to put some plans together. I got to spend some time with the kids, and then I got to spend time writing the new Slammer Fitness app, which is going to be the baddest ass fitness app of all time, because I understand you look amazing 24/7. Aw, thank you, Seductive Steel. That goes on there. But anyways, you can follow me on Instagram at Jack_Slammer_Fitness. You could follow, if you want to get in shape, follow Slammer Fitness, all one word, on Instagram. Also, I'm making TikToks again, even though I don't like how they censor me every chance they get, but a woman who barely covers her birth canal can basically do whatever the hell she wants. But I'm not going to go there. But you can follow me on TikTok at Jack Slammer, and then Steve Slammer, my brother and my partner in crime. You can follow him at Steve_Slammer on the Instagram. And until next time, we're out. Bye-bye.